Hello everyone, I just wanted to make a quick video on some tips and tricks that I've gathered in my first few hours of playing Arc Raiders. The first tip I got for you is to try and upgrade your Scrappy as soon as possible. It is literally free income. You get shit for free. Upgrade it as fast as you can to get more shit for free. Tip number 2, track your blueprints. You can do this when you navigate to any recipe, any upgrade for your workbenches, any quest that requires you to get items. There should be a button that allows you to track your resources. In game, if you open up your map, at the top there'll be a tab called Logbook. This will show you anything that you have and anything that you still need to complete these recipes, upgrade materials, quests materials, and any item that you find in the world that you need will have a little icon on them displaying that you need them for a recipe. Tip number 3, in relation to the previous tip, crafting stations, upgrade them. You can upgrade almost all of them, I think with the exception of the one you start with, which is called the gear workbench, but all the others can be upgraded. Most important one I'd say is probably the gunsmith, probably the medical station. Of course, you first got to craft them, get all of them crafted. Crafting has saved my ass many times. I craft almost all of my weapons. I craft them instead of buying, because buying is fucking extortionate. It is not worth buying them at all, in my opinion. Tip number 4, ammo types. Always know what ammo type your weapon is. You want, ideally, one heavy weapon, one light weapon. A medium can fill in the gap, but light weapons much better than a heavy weapon at taking down other raiders. Generally. That doesn't mean that heavy weapons cannot take down raiders. From range, of course, the Pharaoh can put in work, or the Anvil, but up close and personal, you want a light weapon. Light ammo puts in work. The Stitcher, amazing, especially upgraded. You can upgrade your weapons at the gunsmith table. At the top, there'll be a tab called Upgrade Weapons, and it's fairly cheap, very handy early on. You can upgrade your white weapons all the way up to level 4 and for fairly minimal resources, and it can go a long way to making some of those early game weapons a lot more usable. The Pharaoh becomes a lot faster to reload, which is so much better quality of life. Stitcher gets a hell of a lot less recoil, which is amazing for those 1v1s, especially if the person you're 1v1ing, other raiders, do not have the upgrades. You can also craft at the gunsmith table mods for your weapons, grips, muzzles, magazines, stocks. All of these go a long way to improving the quality of life, improving the handling, and ultimately giving you an advantage against any other raider who is not using them. I would highly recommend trying to get some level 4 weapons if you're able. If you're not, at least get your modifications on them. If you're going to use the Pharaoh, I think it's honestly unplayable without the upgrades, but brings us to tip number 5, free loadouts. Don't be afraid to use the free loadouts feature if you're maybe a little scared or unfamiliar with a map, or you need a quest done that requires you to go to a high traffic area, because the free loadouts still allow you to do your quests. You shouldn't be afraid to use them. They're very handy. This isn't Tarkov where you go in as a scab and you can't do fucking dick because you're not a PMC. You can't do quests. You get killed by everything. In this game, free loadouts, very, very nice. And of course, any loot you bring out is a big bonus. You always start with a weapon and some meds, maybe a grenade if you're lucky. Some ammo. Bare bones, but it'll get the job done and you can do your quests. You don't have a safe pocket though. Keep that in mind. And we'll get onto that later. Tip number 6, timed events. Every single map in this game, as far as I've seen, has timed events that come up every so often. Some maps have a nighttime mode, which is double loot. As far as I know, it's double. It was definitely increased. But there's also more arcs present. This can be very scary, but the loot is worth it. So if you're feeling up to it, hit up the nighttime raids when you see them. There can also be timed events in daytime maps, which are stuff like the Harvester, which spawns on damn battlegrounds, guarded by a queen. Very lucrative if you can get in and loot it. I don't know if you can take down the queen. I haven't seen anyone do it. I presume late game, maybe with the Hullbreaker, I believe it's called. I've seen that available from the gun merchant. But rather than taking on the queen itself, inside the Harvester, there's a lot of loot you can get from breaking open various compartments. Requires you to breach them though, and every so often it will light on fire, so it's a very scary one. Spaceport has one event that I know of where the base launch platform has a whole bunch of loot at the top of it, but a whole bunch of Ark guarding it. And of course, it's going to be highly contested by other raiders. Tip number 7, sort of related to our previous tip. Every map you can inspect before you go in. Familiarize yourself, have a look at the loot areas, maybe the high traffic areas. And if you have a quest, you can generally look at where it might be. So for example, I have a quest right now to go to the South Swamp on Dam Battlegrounds. I can just inspect, find out where that is before I even load in. That way I don't have to spend time searching through the map and wondering where it is at the beginning of the game. Crucial time that could be used getting there before another raider. Tip number 8, Codex. You unlock the Codex very early on. It is very handy, I have found, for gathering information on Arks. I haven't really used it for anything else so far. Maybe you find some use out of it from the other categories, but Arks, very handy. Every time you ping an Ark you haven't seen before, it'll be added to the Codex. You get some information on them. For example, the Bombardier, if you ping it, you get a Codex entry. I read it, and it tells me that the Bombardier tends to work in conjunction with a spotter, which is a little flying drone. If the spotter sees you, the Bombardier can shoot you from anywhere, through walls, no matter what. Like, well, obviously, if you're inside a building, you should be okay. But it does not need line of sight of you if the spotter can see you. It will shoot you and fuck up your day. Tip number 9. Crosshair settings. Not many people know about this as far as I can tell. If you go into accessibility, scroll down, you can find a setting that allows you to unlock your crosshair. Or is it lock? One of the two. It allows you to customize your crosshair, change its length, thickness, outline, color, all of these things. And you can uniform all your crosshairs across all weapons to be one type, instead of the standard in which it changes. So shotguns will have a circle, the barrel has a T-shape. Who the fuck wants that? Me, myself, I go with a traditional crosshair dot in the center. Feels most comfortable for me. If I could have it my way, I'd just have a dot, but they don't let you do that, unfortunately. Tip number 10, if you see an open door, it means somebody, another player, has been through there. Be on your guard. Check the timer at the top of your screen as well, because you can load in anywhere from 30 minutes down to 20 minutes, as far as I know, and the raid starts at 30 minutes, so it could be that you had a late spawn. And if you have a late spawn, it may be that someone has already long gone. But if it's still early on in the round, someone's nearby. And in addition to that, take note of where you spawn, because there's only a set amount of spawn points in the game, just like if you play Tarkov. Tend to be in bunkers, I found. And yeah, keep note of them. In future raids, you might find yourself remembering one of your previous spawn points nearby. You can hit that up. Maybe get an early kill, or maybe make a friend for that raid. Can be very handy. Tip number 11, keys and lock doors. As you see on my screen, I'm displaying what a locked door looks like. If you walk up to it, it'll tell you what key you need. As you see, I have this key. I open this door. This is how it looks. If you see a locked door already unlocked, it means the player's already been there. Probably looted it already. High value loot in these locked doors, almost all of them. As far as I've seen, every single one of them has a weapon crate, every single one of them has an ammo crate, and every single one of them has a throwables crate. All of these very handy, and some loose loot. Tip number 11, safe pocket. Like I mentioned earlier, your safe pocket is very important. If you have a free loadout, you do not get a safe pocket. If you're going to load in with a key, always keep it in your safe pocket. Never take a key out of your safe pocket. Leave that shit firmly in there. Always high value items in the safe pocket. If you have a key when you load in, leave that in your safe pocket. And when you use the key, it will free up that safe pocket for any high value loot you find behind the key door. But in the meantime, when you're trying to get to that key door, keep it in your safe pocket. Because if you die randomly from an Ark or another player, you do not want to lose that key, because that shit is valuable. You only get one use of it. You don't want to lose it, especially if you've got a quest that requires it. Always keep them keys in your safe pocket until you use them, then put something valuable. As you see, I get a snap hook, legendary, from opening up this locked door and looting. Very lucky find. Straight in the safe pocket, secured. Everything else, of course, I want to get out with, but at least I guarantee that I've got a big loot game. And that brings us to the end of the video. My closing thoughts. This game is absolutely fucking awesome. I'm having a blast, and I hope you are too. And I hope these tips go a long way towards helping you having a little bit more fun out there. Thank you so much for watching. Genuinely from the bottom of my heart. Please, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, leave feedback if you have any for me. If you think that, I don't know, my audio is bad or the video is boring, if you watched this far, I would appreciate anything, and I will try to respond to any comments that you have. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.